him. I thought basketball won the Missouri Valley Conference, so figured he'd be up here for a little bit. I know I would have been. So, obviously not an ideal weekend for us. We got 4 guys going to the national tournament for sure. Hopefully we'll get another one in. I think Jensen probably has the best chance out of those guys with having some high quality wins. But you don't want to put yourself in that situation though. It's not a good spot to be when you're hoping to get an at-large bid because you're not sure what the committee is going to look at, which way they're going to go. It's in someone else's hands, and I think that's one thing is wrestlers, we don't like in anybody else's hands. We'll see. I think we'll know Wednesday afternoon who else gets in. So, hopefully we got 5, 6 going, but the 4 that we got, we're going to get those guys ready to win national titles. As a team, to say I'm disappointed getting 6, I am disappointed getting 6. I expect more out of our team. I expect more out of the program. So, and our guys do too. Though this isn't just coach talking. This is our guys talking. They expect more out of themselves also. Boy, I guess we got to get ready for nationals now. But that's a great thing. I think we got some guys wrestling very well. I thought Cooper Moore's wrestling the best he's wrestled all year. He's as healthy as he's been all year. You don't usually have that a guy's more healthy in March than he is in November. He tweaked his elbow pretty good in November, and he's wrestled through it, and I think he feels pretty good right now. He wrestled a good tournament. Whenever you change a match, you got beat by that guy 2 weeks ago, and then he beats him 7-1 this time. So that's always a lesson for our guys to know that every match is different, and you can change things around like that. You can change things around like that just by where your focus is at, staying in positions that you're really good, and doing those things. And that's what he did that match. He stayed out. A guy's got one really good position, and we got caught in it in the dual meet, and he didn't go back there. He stayed where he was good and really separated himself. So 2 other guys in the finals, Dylan Peters. Alan Waters is wrestling pretty good right now. He's beat everybody at that weight class. He's the #1 guy in the country right now. I'm not sure where Dylan's going to end up seated. Some depends on the Big Ten a little bit and what they do with Tomasello won it, but he's beat Tomasello. So he could go anywhere from, I'd say 5 to 6 to 7 maybe, depending on where they put Delgado, who was the 2-time defending national champ. So, Dylan did a better job on bottom against him this time, but the guy's a good competitor, man. He's crafty. If anybody watched him wrestle, he's a really crafty wrestler, and he's got a lot of confidence right now. So I'm not sure where Dylan will end up, but he's ready to put himself back on the stand and put himself a little bit higher. He was 6th last year, and he wants to be higher this year. Blaze hadn't lost a match in a long time, and he doesn't like losing. But we got to be able to give ourselves a few more opportunities. That guy wrestled a real good match, smart game plan, came out and got a takedown on us right away, and rode us. So that made it tough. He's never really able to get his offense off. I don't know if anybody watched the match, but he never really picked up his pace like he normally does. And he's got to be able to do that. I'm not sure where he's going to end up seated. 8, 9, 10, somewhere in there, but he should be in that area. But he's going to the national tournament, and like I said, he still has won a lot of matches in a row. You come in on a loss, but got to be able to rebound, which he will. The other guy that we have going is Basil Mento. Won 1 match in the tournament. Lost 3 really close matches. Got to be able to win the close matches, and that's kind of been my mantra all year. Kind of what we talked about is got to be able to win close matches. Got to be able to close matches out. And if anybody watched our guys, we didn't close matches out very well. So that makes it a tough tournament. Makes it a really, really, really tough tournament. I thought one guy that wrestled extremely well, even though he's not going to the tournament, is Jake Hodges. 41 was a really good weight in the MAC. Got 3 guys in the top 15, and have a couple guys that are probably going to be in the top 8 seeded that he got beat by, but that he scrapped tooth and nail with. And I'll use him as an example. Is that's how we want guys to compete. That's UNI wrestling to me is how he competed, even though he didn't win. How he competed, how he went out there and hustled and fought for absolutely everything. I was proud of how he wrestled. I was proud of all our guys. But as a coach, you always want more. And when your guys are disappointed and they don't get what they want, then you got to reevaluate and you got to make some changes. And the pain's got to change you a little bit. That's got to be a great motivator. So we got guys that are probably going to be home and they're going to go to the national tournament and watch, and either that's going to be painful enough for them to make some changes for the future, or probably going to end up in the same spot next year. And I don't like this spot, and neither do our guys. So you guys know that we'll continue to get to work. We'll continue to get better. We have 4 or 5 guys, hopefully more, going to nationals, and we're going to have those guys prepared and ready to bring home hardware from St. Louis. So I guess with that, any questions? I will say, tell you what, we do appreciate the fans that came. We did have a good fan support down there. Missouri, it was in their home arena, so obviously they had the most fans, but we by far had the second most fans, and we would like to give you a few more opportunities to get louder. But I tell you what, they got loud a few times, and we do appreciate the purple that was down there. So thanks for coming out. I guess any questions?
You talked a little bit about possible at-larges. What's maybe the good case for Jared, and maybe the reasons why Jake might not get as good a look at 141?
Just his overall record. Overall record, who you beat in the tournament. I mean, those are some of the things that they look at. Your RPI, your coach's rank. If you don't have an RPI and you don't have a coach's rank, you haven't beat anybody in the tournament, it's going to be real hard to get an at-large bid. So those are kind of the things that you look at. Jensen's he's beat 4 guys that are in the tournament. Out of the guys that aren't in at 57, he's got the best win. He beat a guy that's in the top 5 in the country, Miller from Kent State. He's beat another guy that's in the top 12 in the country. So to me, you want to put the guys in the tournament that have the best chance to beat somebody. You want to get the best guys there, and I think they've done a pretty good job at doing that the last few years. So hopefully he gets a spot, but like I said, it's not a position you want to be. I mean, your guts churning a little bit because is he going to get in? Is he not going to get in? But I really think that if you look at it, he's probably the only guy really on paper that has a chance. Just from if you're looking at those criteria. Don't send this to the committee that's deciding this, so. Because if they want to put some other guys in, they certainly can. But I'm saying with the things that they look at, Jensen definitely has the best case, and to me, he has a great case and should be in the national tournament for the guys that he's beat during the season. Anything else? St. Louis isn't that far either. Everybody's probably just down there this weekend, right? It's a pretty good place. The national tournament will be down there, so if you want to get down there, we'd appreciate it. So we'll have a couple days off, and then we'll really sharpen up or get our guys in there a few days and really get their mind ready, get their body ready, and get them ready to have a great national tournament. So thanks for your support, and go Panthers.